And welcome to another Drawing with Steffi. We're going to try something different today. We are going to draw a character from Marvel Comics. We're going to do Wolverine. As always, if you'd like to support my art, you can check it out at redbubble.com. Just type in Cybercat or go to the links underneath in the description below. As usual, I'm using Paint Tool Sci with a Wacom Intuos Pro tablet. So let's start with building our shapes. Use some construction lines to help decide where we want things to be. And I like using shapes to help decide where I want everything and give an idea of what things should look like. You learn how to do that mostly just through practice and studying how the body goes. And move him up a little bit. And it's okay to erase if you need to. It doesn't have to be perfect the first time you sketch it out. Now remember, Wolverine is really short and squat, so you don't want to make him 6 heads tall. It's probably like 5 or 4. It's going to have a little bit of foreshortening in it. Alright, so we got basically where everything's going to be. Alright, so I'm going to fade that out and make a new layer. And I'm going to get this a little bit better shaped. It's okay to be loose when you first start out. Draw his mask in there too now. I'm going to do the old school uniform, if I can remember what it looks like. Remember, he's nice and big and squat, so you want to get big muscles in there. But you want to watch the proportions because he's not tall. So, you know, his arms and legs aren't going to be quite as long either. When you're drawing arms, that's something you want to consider is, you know, when they're straight against the body, they shouldn't come more than about halfway down the thigh. So you want to double check what you're doing. Make his legs a little bit thicker. Thick Canadian is thick. Draw his boots in there too. If I can remember what they look like, it's been a while. Put in his ankle. It's very sad to hear about Stan Lee's passing. He's done a lot for a lot of people, and it's hit a lot of people hard. My best wishes go out to his family. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to do a little bit more refining. I'm also going to make him a little bit smaller since he's fallen off the page here. Another good reason to do things digitally. And don't worry, we'll add in the claws too. I'm going to zoom in here. Alright, now somebody asked before why I do the triangle in the face, and that is to help decide where everything needs to go on the face. Now that's where his ear would be. And he's got a pretty thick jaw. And a pretty big chin too. And you want to watch how the curl of the mask goes. It's kind of different depending upon who's drawing it. That's why it's always good to have reference. Alright, I'm going to lighten that up a little bit. Make another pass. Zoom in a little bit more. Now I want to make this a little bit more realistic, so I'm going to go with smaller eyes here. And he's going to be squinting because he's angry, but it's Wolverine, so he's always angry. Now you don't see too much of his brows because of the way this mask goes. But you should see lots of squishiness and scrunchiness along his nose. And let's give him a sneer here. And he's got pronounced canines, so you want to add that in. Because he's an angry, angry guy a lot of times. There we go. He also has a lot of face fuzz, but the mask holds most of that in, but you want to put a little bit of the 5 o'clock shadow along the chin. There we go. Zoom back out a little bit. And get the mask properly aligned. Seems to remember it goes kind of like that. There we go. There we go. And he's got a lot of muscle, so you want to make sure that's evident in the neck and the shoulder area. He's going to have big shoulders. He's a beefy, muscly guy. And show a little bit of the gum line there. There we go. Nice and growly. Do a little bit of Adam's apple there. A little bit more of the neck muscles. Alright. That's looking pretty good. Alrighty, so let's continue on with the chest here. Trying to remember what it looks like. I don't think in this costume version he has the halter on guard things. Doing the copper uniform. I don't like the yellow and blue one as much. Alright, now his arms have a lot of hair, so you want to make sure you don't forget that part. Let's not forget to give him his six-pack either. It's not just for beer. And, you know, as you're sketching along, it's okay to redo things. If I remember right, his gloves just go across. Alright, now hands are hard. I will be the first one to say that, so I'm going to go back to red here. I'm going to squish a few things together so we don't lose stuff. Get rid of that blue there because we don't need that anymore. Alright, so I'm going to like redraw the hand here so it's a little bit more ready for drawing. Make sure it's where it needs to be. It's not quite so loose. And the hand kind of curls in when you have a fist, depending upon if there's anything in it and how big your hands are. Alright, I think I can move that over just a little bit. There we go. Hand should be about as big as the head. So, you know, if this was unfolded, it'd probably be about that size, so that's good. So I like that. Ta-da! Alright, let's move on to the other hand. I'm going to flip this around, just because it's easier to do one side than it is the other. Another good reason for using digital. There we go. I'll add in his arm floof in a bit. Knuckles. Kind of overemphasizing, but you know, everybody draws hands differently. I want to make sure they are both about the same size though. I think I made that one a little bit too big. It's okay, we can squish it down thanks to the wonderful world that is digital. Yeah, that looks okay. Yay for digital. Gotta love the undo and transform options. Alright. Add in a little bit of the side muscle here, because he is nice and ripped. I'm just redefining things a little bit as I go along. That's the other reason I like to flip things around, is sometimes it makes it a little bit easier to decide if something looks off or not. Alrighty. Don't worry, we'll add his claws in at some point. Here, I'm also going to save, because remember, save often. Alright, let's draw his belt, which I forgot to sketch in there earlier. So I seem to remember him having a fairly large belt buckle. Or sometimes it's the X-Men symbol. I just remember it was a large belt. There we go. Let's put the X-Men symbol. We'll redo that in a bit. Woo! Alrighty. And then his superhero pants. Because apparently you can't be a superhero without superhero pants. Alright, and I'm going to do another layer just because I like to have things on different layers. Makes it easier to erase things if you make a mistake. You don't end up erasing things you do like. Draw in his muscles. Remember, they're big and bulky. And then add in the flares of his boots. Now remember, his legs aren't going to be really long because he is short. He's supposed to be like 5 foot something. I mean, I love Jack Human. He's awesome and all that, but man, is too tall for Wolverine. Everything else was great, but too tall. Alright, and I think it came to a point. It's been a while since I looked at Wolverine. I probably should have looked him up before I did this video. Whoops! That's right, it comes down to a side there like that. Alrighty, there we go. And some ankles, and then the feet. Get in the heel there too. Do the soles of the boot. Alright, draw in the rest of his leg here. Alright, let's thin some of this out. I'm going to go back over some of this. I'm going to add it back together. And I'm going to lighten that up because I don't like how that quite turned out. I want to redo it a little bit. I'm going to redo how I've got the boots here a little bit. There we go. Do the ankles and the heel. Oh, something else I want to also mention. It seems that YouTube has a new community tab where we can share chats and what else? Photos and pictures and stuff. So, next time you're at my page, check out the community tab. You can comment on my videos or share, questions you got about why I did something or why I didn't do something. Always looking for suggestions for future videos too. So, please check it out. You'll see lots of nifty art and hopefully other neat things. I discovered that the other day. It seemed like a nifty application. Alrighty, put the X-Men symbol in there. Do a little bit of the top of the belt so it looks like it's not just flat. And you can, tell me who your favorite superhero is. Maybe I'll do some more superheroes in the future just for giggles. Let me know who you'd like me to sketch out next time. Maybe Batman or Jubilee. I liked the Generation X comic back in the day, before they turned Jubilee into a vampire. That was really strange. Oh yes, we don't want to forget his hair. Alright. Or his claws. Yes, don't want to forget his claws. It is Wolverine after all. Alright, something that I've seen a lot of people do is they either make them really too long, because remember, they hide in his arm, so they can't go too far, so they need to be a realistic-ish, it is a comic book after all, realistic-ish length, so you don't want to have it too much longer than his arm, and they probably shouldn't go out too far either way. So, oops. And even if technically they are bone claws that are just covered with adamantium, a lot of folks tend to draw them like they're just blades. I like the blade look too, personally, so just want to keep some of those things in mind. And the one in the middle tends to be a little bit longer than the ones on the side. There we go. And I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to copy these over, because that's what I do when I'm usually drawing. It's totally okay to cheat like that, just so you know. If you're saving yourself some time and energy, go for it. There we go. Just want to make sure you stick them in the right direction, though. There we go. It's always better to make things easier on yourself. There we go. I think I'm going to shorten these ones up a little bit. They're a little bit too long. There we go. And they do come from in between his knuckles somewhat, so I probably need to fix that. I'm being lazy. But that's why it's a sketch. You're allowed to fix things as you go along. Alright, let's get rid of some of this extra stuff. There we go. I'm going to erase some of my underdrawing. And get rid of that one. Alright, almost done. Just need to do his arm hair and fix his blade. Let's see here. Erase a little bit of his knuckles here so it's going in the right place. Move these over a little bit. There we go. Alrighty, and merge this all together. Put on preserve opacity so I can, whoops, wrong button. Helps to use the brush. Get it all colored the right. There we go. That looks better. Alright, now we'll add in some arm hair. Just want to do little strokes. And it's more apparent along the edges of the arm. You don't want to like coat the whole arm. It ends up looking a little silly if you do that. So just a little bit here and there, just to suggest that he's kind of fuzzy. Maybe we'll do Gambit next time. I like him. He's pretty spiffy. Alrighty. And let's put a little bit more on his chin. Because he's a scuffy, scruffy dude. Alrighty. And there we do have a sketch of Wolverine. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks so much. I hope to see you next time. And remember, please give me suggestions. You can email them or leave me a note here on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.